Move and be moved by these savings right now at Team Mazda. Choose a new 25 Mazda CX-50, Mazda CX-70, or Mazda CX-90 and get low 1.9% financing. Discover the Mazda experience and save right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
The Music Awards were last night.
I know, the American Music Awards.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and you know the greatest feature of the night?
What was that?
Yeah, the hunky Jeff
Hunky?
Morrow.
No,
he was there on the American Music Awards and then came back to Baton Rouge to join us on 9 News this morning.
How did I get there from working until 5 o'clock
You
here
man, the
yesterday?
skill.
I mean, man.
Concord.
The red eye?
Private jet.
It was the red eye.
Yeah, got to be.
I
Got to
apparently
be.
can teleport and we didn't even know it.
We were just doing come on, can we get that invention going? We were
Listen.
just talking about the AMAs, American Music Awards.
Yeah.
They were on last night on the WAFB, all the nice awards, and we saw Rod Stewart getting a Lifetime Achievement. Achievement? That's about right. Achievement Award. We get the Achievement Award.
You get the Achievement Award.
Jeff very quickly breaking into If You Want My Body.
Sing it.
I'm saying.
Come on, baby.
No?
You know, the sad thing, though, do you ever have artists or musicians that are tied to previous relationships?
Oh, no, yeah.
Rod
no, I'm with
Stewart.
you.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart's one
previous?
of those. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can't listen to him currently?
Can't listen to
No.
them anymore.
Oh,
No.
gosh.
It's a thing of the past. What about
But I mean,
songs?
is that
about right
the
now,
case
baby?
for y'all too, though?
No,
I mean,
that's
do y'all
very
think of
true.
certain
Yeah, you
bands, certain
associate
musicians that your
memories.
exes
All
either
music
loved
brings
or
you
let
back.
in
Yeah.
place?
All
Yeah.
music brings you back
Time
to
and
a certain
place.
time.
Yes.
You know, when I hear Tears for Fears or whatever, that's
Oh,
you know,
very
That's my
specific
favorite.
memory.
Really? You just said did you just pull that out of your hat?
pulled it out of my hat.
That's my
Wow.
favorite all-time song.
It reminds me of you and me back in the 80s.
You know what? Yeah,
That's because we were just little ones.
Exactly.
their song
Yeah.
"Shout." Yeah, makes me. Makes me think about my time with Johnny back in the
He
80s.
said you and me in the 80s.
Don't tell my wife. But
Thompson Twins,
everybody
that
wants to
was
rule the
another
world.
one.
My favorite
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Child of the 80s. You spun a lot of albums
Oh,
back in the
yes,
day.
indeed.
Would you consider yourself a child of the 80s? More American rock or more Euro pop? Because you mentioned Thompson Twins and Tears
A
for
lot of
Fears.
Euro
and that
pop
was,
back in Duran Duran. I mean,
Duran
all
Duran,
of those
all
were so
that.
fantastic.
Oh, they were great, but
So fantastic.
Team USA had a bunch of
We
a
did.
burgeoning rock from like, even well, this is old and soft, like
79
Chicago
to
and Journey and
89
Foreigner,
was
and then
the-
it was harder rock.
79 to 89. Some people say disco. 79 to 89 was the greatest decade for top 40 music.
Get it, baby.
Okay.
And in the 90s
That's
and
fair.
2000s, it didn't know what it wanted to be. It was kind
Yeah.
of redefining itself. Now it's getting back to the good.
I'll argue with you. I think
Yeah.
late
I like
60s, early 70s.
Okay.
That's probably your definitive
You didn't
period
even know who
of time.
Vincent
frame.
Price was
Well,
earlier this
I
morning.
guarantee, but you're saying that
'Cause he's
because you
young.
had you grew up with what your
Exactly.
parents listened to,
That's
right?
what was on
Me
the
too.
radio, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the love of music came
Okay,
from.
in
You
our
get to carry
life.
that on.
You got
Okay.
Motown, you got the Eagles, you got,
So good.
But Vincent
Yeah.
Price would have had a birthday
Stop.
today had he been alive. And Jeff goes, "Who's that?"
I know.
What?
Well, they're fine.
It's
Do you
'cause
know
he's
Michael
young.
Jackson?
I know Michael Jackson, King of
Yes.
Pop, yes.
Okay, well, at the end of the
But
Thriller song,
was before my time,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Leave him be.
Exactly.
All of us spanned the Jackson 5, though, right? Janet Jackson.
She was crazy last night.
Icon Award last
Yeah.
night. Okay, the woman is 59. She looks fantastic. She was performing some of her old hits,
Yeah.
too. She looked great on stage. 5 decades of music is what she was celebrating last
59
night.
in 5 decades of music. Just
That'll
tells
tell
you
you
how
exactly
young
right.
they were when they were
Exactly.
performing as the Jackson
The whole
5.
family.
Oh, what? She must have been like 5 years old, like first time on
Yeah,
stage with the
well,
brothers.
listen.
yeah, she was young. She
Michael
was a
Jackson
baby.
got them going
baby-
really
baby
in
face.
the whole industry.
That's very
Yeah.
true. Get out there and make
Whether
daddy
you
some
like
money.
it or not.
Yeah.
But to still see that she's got the talent and still able to
Longevity,
do that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, it's
the
crazy.
career that it
Yeah,
takes, that's
so good.
incredible.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so all that leads us to this. It has been an active morning. I don't know
Boy,
what the
has it.
soundtrack to this morning's forecast would be, but
It's raining. Oh no, not that.
No, that would be quite
you know
the
what? That's
soundtrack
great.
today.
That's a great
yeah.
tune.
More like CCR. Who'll stop the rain?
somebody look at you
Here
guys.
comes the rain
Crooners.
A little
again.
purple rain.
Yeah.
No,
Let's look.
whatever.
The sky's
So,
looking purple.
we'd have to pay for all that. We don't. We can't. We
Why
can't
we
even
can only
afford
do a
that
couple
contract.
seconds at a time.
So let's talk about the forecast to come. Pretty critical. where's this line of storms? It's literally on us right now?
Yeah, so we're right over top of our viewing area right now, kind of this line of storms making its way through. So we're taking that live look from our Sky 9 camera brought to you by Our Lady Lake, and you can see how the showers and thunderstorms continuing here over the river. But here's the good news. As you look at the live camera shot, the flags have started to relax. The branches here on the trees at the ferry landing side of the levee and Port Allen side has also started to lessen. So the wind threat's starting to diminish here within the Metro Baton Rouge area. So that is certainly good news. But the line of thunderstorms continues. It still has the potential of producing some damaging wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. All forms of severe weather remain possible, but low end threats for some hail, possibility of tornadoes, and then also flash flooding. Because of how quickly this line is moving through, that's going to limit the flood potential, but we still could see some low-lying, poorly drained areas having to contend with some standing water, but think more or less nuisance type flooding, so roadways being the primary concern. So here's the broad picture. Here is our live First Alert radar network. You can see this complex and line of thunderstorms that's right now making its way through the heart of our viewing area. Now this yellow box outline right here, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. That remains in place for another 7 minutes, 7:15. The National Weather Service has suggested in their chat, which we have access to here at the station, that they will not continue the severe thunderstorm warning off towards the east, that the storm that prompted it has weakened. One area that I'm keeping my eye on is just to the south of Baton Rouge. So I'm going to take control of the radar here manually, and we're going to kind of zoom in on this particular area. So where we're starting to see more consolidation of lightning is where we're seeing the most intense of the thunderstorm weather, and that's right now over top of Plaquemine into White Castle and then stretching down into the southwestern side of Iberville Parish. So that's probably our strongest thunderstorm right now. So where is that going to be heading? That's going to be heading into Ascension Parish. So you know what, let's give you a storm track just to kind of give you an indication on when this strong weather is going to be arriving into Ascension and Lower Livingston parishes. So City of St. George 721, Gonzales 732, Sorrento 739, Killian 806, Springfield 811, and then Ponchatoula around 822. As this moves through, expect wind gusts on the order of 30 to 40 miles per hour, some frequent lightning, which could cause sporadic power outages, and then the possibility of some small hail. That's going to be the concerns as we look towards this main line of energy, main line of thunderstorms. We're continuing to keep an eye on the entire line as a whole, but you can, Johnny, get out of the way. Johnny, move out of the way. Sorry, you're messing with my thing. Johnny at the wall messing with my thing. Here's a look at the line of storms kind of arriving, and this is going to be pushing off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. So let's put it into motion, just kind of give you a sense of the movement. Again, moving pretty quickly, so that's going to limit, one, how bad the weather's going to last, but also how much accumulation of the heavy rainfall that we're going to be projected to get. So because of that lessening threat of seeing some flooding concerns, but certainly still out there. So as this continues to exit, here's how the weather forecast kind of plays out for the rest of the day. Notice the rain chance way, way down once we get towards 10 a.m. and beyond. So we're talking about maybe a few lingering showers, possibility of a rumble or two of thunder. But bottom line, we're not expecting severe weather, not expecting widespread rain through the rest of the day. Temperatures will start to rebound, but we're going to keep you out of the 90s for today. We hit 91 for Memorial Day. We've got highs in the 80s as we look towards this afternoon. Here's a look at how the forecast progresses. Don't get rid of the umbrella. Yeah, we've got likely chance today. We've got another likely chance tomorrow, mainly during the afternoon hours. Likely chance on Thursday. Decent chance on Friday before finally starting to dry things out, Johnny, as we head into the weekend. You may now move back to my green screen.
Thank you, sir. Didn't realize I was affecting that. Look here, College Drive camera. This is the Gordon McKernan First Alert traffic camera at College Drive. Light traffic this morning. We kind of expected that. A lot of folks extending the Memorial Day weekend. Schools are, of course, out. Here's the I-10 bridge across the river, and then LA 415. So you can see the backside of that. It was pouring down rain there a few minutes ago. Now that's starting to push through there, as Jeff mentioned. And don't forget the Dallas flight 1031 this morning. If you're on that flight, you were notified probably. That flight has been canceled. Everybody else is on time, with the exception of the flight that was supposed to leave at 6:07 to Charlotte. That now leaves at 7:59. All right, you're waking up with WAFB 9 News Now. We do it every weekday morning right here at 7. Then again at 3:30 in the afternoon, at 9 at night. We're going to be right back with a couple of headlines and more weather for you all morning long here on WAFB. Stay with us.
7:13 your time right now, and then there were two talking about the escapees from New Orleans left out there still on the run. Liz, a very active day on Monday as far as authorities finding a few of these guys.
3 of those escaped inmates being found on Monday, 1 in Baton Rouge, 2 in Texas. So you can see here, you're seeing some video images of those of those inmates there being recaptured and arrested. They will now be sent to Angola. As Matt mentioned, 2 more on the run. It is $20,000 for a tip that's going to help lead to the recapture. Call them into Crime Stoppers.
That's per escapee.
Per
right?
escapee.
Yeah. All right, so from escaped inmates there to, well, hard shift, students, right? Enjoying a summer break. A lot of them get fed those 2 square meals a day during the summer or during their school. But what about the summer? What about the summertime?
The child nutrition program at EBR schools, they're working to make sure that students have 2 meals to eat, breakfast and lunch. If you sign up your child, they're an EBR student, you can actually qualify them to get those meals all summer long, Monday through Friday. If you are an adult and you'd like to pay for those meals for yourself, you can. It's an additional price, but your child will be free. You just have to apply, and Matt Venezia has that information in his web story.
It's a great program.
It
Again, runs all the way through those summer months. Need to let you know right now, the story of the morning has been the forecast. Knocked out power in a few places as the line moved through, and we continue to see a little bit of that, huh?
Yeah, it's a couple hundred of customers kind of here and there sporadically across certain parishes within South Louisiana. So we'll continue to monitor that. But lightning, wind, all that creates power outages, and that's the kind of concern of the threats that we're dealing with right now.
You're seeing that courtesy of
show
Power
across the
Outage
basin
US.
earlier this morning.
You sure were tracking that across Evangeline and Henderson
I think we
into
went from
our
like
area.
1,500 to 1,200 to 900. So that's coming down, so hopefully weakening a bit.
You could be driving a Honda. Experience the thrill of a new Honda Accord right now from Team Honda. Named a Car and Driver's 10 Best Award winner for the 39th time. Get 2.99% financing for 60 months right now on your new Accord. Bet Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.